Hello guys, welcome to Turtle Talk. This is my vlog, talk show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, where I have the floor and I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about. The things I've been doing mostly. How's it been? It's been a while. I've been getting these out about once a month, which is about when I get free time. So, I apologize if you expect more, but, it's a hobby, so it's not like my paying career or anything. I'm YouTubing as a hobby, so that aside, what have I been doing? Let's start anime. Finished the first Naruto show. I am gonna watch Shippuden soon, but finished Naruto. I think the end of it was kind of like, we're not gonna get to the big bad guy, so let's just kind of bring in some cool characters and do some stuff that we haven't quite done yet, kind of filler episodes. So that's kind of disappointing when you really get to the end of a show like that that's like 220 episodes. You're ready for something to happen, some kind of closure, and then you're like, oh, I gotta go watch the whole other show that's not done yet, which isn't, I mean, I only watch English dub, because I generally watch anime before sleep, and like while I'm sleeping, so I don't want to read subtitled versions, so I get the dub versions. So knowing that that version or that show Shippuden is not done in English dub is like, oh well, I've got about 200 episodes more to go, which is what the last one was, but they go to 360 or something. So it's a huge another anime to get involved in, which it's all the same characters. I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit of different stuff. I really don't know why it's a different show name or anything, but it's like, well, I'm committed this much, I'm going to end up watching it eventually, probably. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it, because it was like the only show I was watching for a little bit. I mean, it even took me off of like the regular shows that I watch on like Netflix, like Wonder Years and Star Trek Next Generation and stuff, so it was taking up all my time. So I've been watched the end of that, and I liked it. It was a show that I never thought I would get into. I never thought Naruto, like the first couple impressions that I got of the show was like, I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja, I'm a ninja. It's like, you're annoying, so I'm not gonna watch you. But aside from him being the main character, the other characters that you're gonna meet are pretty cool. Rock Lee and Akamaru and what's his name, and some of the characters are just they're pretty cool. Like they're kind of cliche type tropes, but it's done in its own way. The voice acting for the dub version, also, I want to point out, has so many like known voice actors. Like you'll be listening, like going like, who? Oh, I know this voice. Like who is that? Who? There were so many that I'm like, I know that. I'm like, that's what's his name from Full Metal Alchemist, Colonel Mustang. I'm like, oh, that's who that is. And then like you hear like some of them over and over. Like some of them, it's like the guy that does Ichigo from Bleach. His voice is like one of the guards in the village, and then he's like also one of the bad guys in one episode. And you keep hearing like and you're like, is he a spy? And then you're like, oh no, it's actually different characters. It's just he's doing this the voice for both. Okay, I get it. So there's a couple things like that that are like they could get a couple more voice actors maybe, but they got like all the big voice actors. I mean, you're gonna start hearing stuff, hearing voices from people that you recognize from Cowboy Bebop, from Bleach, from Digimon. A lot of people from Digimon. Man, I mean, there's so many people, and you're just like, I recognize a lot of these. Naruto is probably one that I couldn't figure out who he's done voices for before, but there's a bunch of other ones. You're like, I know this voice. Like it's very clearly this person. So I mean, voice acting is kind of a small world for like dubbed to English anime stuff. So I guess there's probably not that many people doing it. It doesn't seem like it's the job that pays amazingly or anything, so there's probably not like a huge flock of people just like, I always wanted to be a voice actor. To me it's kind of funny because like I've in the past thought like I would like to be a voice actor. I'd like to have some kind of voice that becomes a character for a show and gets well known. I think that'd be awesome. I also want to do radio, broadcast talk show kind of thing. So that's what this is basically my attempt at having my own radio broadcasting and via the internet. So yeah, I always thought it'd be really cool to do voice acting and stuff. My reading skills were really low. I've worked on it a lot over the years, but over like in high school and stuff, I was still struggling with English, and reading and writing was one of my harder subjects. I just couldn't do it. Math was always like super easy to me. Science, I always did really good. Reading was just like, I don't know how to pronounce this word. It was bad. So I've worked over the years to get better at that. I mean, I'm 28 now, so I've had quite a few years of playing video games and stuff where I have to read whatever the quest is. I have to read and stuff, and then there's other ones where, like World of Warcraft, you have to like type fast, communicate with players, and like some of it, before Ventrilo and Skype were an everyday thing. Some of that's reading and writing, and it's helped me a little bit better to do better. And then other stuff too. I mean, trying to just further my education on my own. So maybe someday voice acting is a thing that I would like to do. Aside from that, let's see what else. Bleach. I ended up getting the next set of DVD that's come out for. It's like season 14 or 15 or whatever. But I got a whole bunch of those. So in the English. So I'm rewatching some of the Waco Mundo set stuff to catch back up on that story, like the main storyline, because there's so many, like there's a whole season of them playing soccer, and there's a whole season of them, chasing their swords around when their swords become people, and there's weird stuff in that show. I enjoy it, but there's some weird stuff, and then there's like the side seasons that are like just filler seasons, and that's kind of sad. Like I don't know if it's them trying to let the manga get ahead or whatever it was when they were making it, but man, it's ridiculous sometimes when you're watching. You're just like, this has nothing to do like with any, like, and some of it they go back like season between like season 8 and 9. Season 9 they go back. They show like this new captain for Squad 3 and all the stuff, in that storyline, and then there's the side storyline with that for Ichigo and the others in the world of living, and then them going back to the Soul Society. And in all that, like all of a sudden, like they have skills that they haven't quite got to in the main story yet. Like they're like Ichigo's able to keep his mask on longer than he could in the main storyline. He could have it for like 10 seconds, and then the next season starts, and all of a sudden like he does another fight, and you're like, okay, he could just do it for 10 seconds, 11 seconds, whatever they said. Then he does it for like a 5-minute fight, and you're just like, when did that happen? Like when did he get this ability? But in this other timeline, slightly back in the past, before they go to Waco Mundo, he could have a fight with somebody and add it on for like 5 minutes, and you're like, okay, consistency not here. Also, however you say his name, the Quincy Uryu, however you say his name, he wasn't there for like a big chunk of season 8, right? So he's not allowed to associate with any of the Soul Reapers and Ichigo and stuff, and he's like lost his powers. And then season 9, he shouldn't even be there, and they pull him out, and he's just like got his powers, and he's doing stuff, and he's with them, and it's like, when is this happening? Because like right before that, before the Waco Mundo thing, like he didn't have any powers. Then they go to Waco Mundo in season 8 or 7, whichever one, and then season 8 he like loses, or season 8 he has been gone for like a while, like not able to see them. So when he first sees them, he's like, yeah, hey, I can go. So I mean, it's one of those confusing things. I don't like, he just shows back up for the next season, where it's kind of a slightly different timeline right before they go, but he has his powers again, and like, more than he had before he lost his powers, but before he got them back, like more than he's had before. So it's very confusing. Um, and I don't know what the deal is with that. It's inconsistent, it seems. Um, it's like a small gripe. It's like I still like the show. I still like how many characters there are to like learn, and like how they break up, like when they show you a new character, and like their backstory and stuff is really good normally. So like I don't have a problem with the fact that there's so many characters. I have problems when there's a character that's here that shouldn't be here in the timeline that you're like thrown into for a whole season. I mean, it's a short season. It's like 15 episodes or 12 episodes, but it's like, okay, you're just giving us this pausing in the main story, like right when we're like, oh, he's fighting this guy. It's awesome. It's super exciting. And then like, bam, hey, by the way, we're gonna hold that story off for like a while, and we're gonna give you this one. I mean, even the narrator says it like kind of like funny, like, we're gonna give you this weird story, and you're like, okay, so that's a thing. Yeah, I don't know, Bleach. It's a different kind of anime. It definitely wasn't what I expected either. It's one of those shows that I started watching and I was like, the first season it doesn't even, he's going to school and stuff, and then it's like then it goes a total crazy after that, and then the progression of the show is really good. So um yeah, I don't know. I try to watch a lot of anime. I'm a very eclectic type of person when it comes to shows and stuff. I have like a very wide variety of stuff that I like to watch. So that's one that I got into because of other people suggesting. So there's been a lot of other anime that I've been trying to finish up, and it hasn't quite happened. And then I don't know. I feel like there's like a Gundam kick that I want to get on and watch at least a couple of the shows, maybe some of the original seasons, that timeline, not the alternative timelines of Gundam, which I enjoy a lot of the alternative or alternative universes. They're really great in Gundam. I actually Gundam Seed, one of my favorites, and then Seed Destiny is like that's a great 2 seasons of show to watch, and then Gundam Wing, second best Gundam. A lot of people would put that as first best Gundam, but I think it's the second best. Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny are my favorite Gundam. Like, it's just really pretty and sparkly. There's a lot of pink explosions, but I don't know what it gets to. There's a point where like every anime gets to this point where like we've got a lot of pink. We need to use this in our art. And it even happened in like Dragon Ball Z. Like all of a sudden, like you go through like the Cell Saga, you go through the androids, and then you get to Majin Buu, and it's like, you know what? We've got a lot of pink. We need to start using the pink colors. So it's like pink explosions, pink enemies, pink everything. Like, I don't know if that's like I don't know if it's really because of like we just have a lot of pink crayons left over. I don't know what it is. But it seems like it's a thing that happens in a few animes, and Gundam Seed it's computer shaded, computer colored show, but like they really went with pink explosions in it. And they were just like, you know what, we gotta do some pink, man. Like just make this thing like pop, boom, pink, bam. Ships are exploding, pink everywhere. Like I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why it's pink. That's a tangent. Sorry. Other things. Let's see what's going on. It's April, so if you've been playing video games on computer, you've probably been playing Diablo 3. Is pretty big. Some people didn't want to get back into it. I really didn't think I would get back into Diablo 3. I heard they were taking out the auction house, so I jumped on. I was like, oh, I'll make a little bit of money and play a little bit before, and they added the loot 2.0, and I was like, okay. Loot works a lot better. Crafting works a lot better. Crafting while leveling is like, oh, hey, you're level 23. You can craft a level 23 thing, and then you craft it, and it's like, bam, here's the stats you need. And you're like, that's a lot better than before when you'd craft stuff, and it'd be like, here's intellect, strength, and, stupid other stat that you don't need. And now it's like, you are leveling. Here's XP per monster. Here is agility or dexterity, and stamina, or what is it? vitality. So you get all these stats, that you need, that are actually useful, and so that's nice. Like that's nice when you're leveling and you can craft something from like, just the fact that you've played for a while and you've disenchanted a bunch of stuff. That is not the right word, but whatever you did, you de-eat stuff. You got a bunch of mats. You craft something and it's useful. Before it was like you craft something, good luck, and it even says like you may not get the stats you want the first time, so try again. Like that was their old like crafting slogan for Diablo. Like just try a whole bunch. You might have to try 300 times. It's like I don't want to have to try 300 times to craft something and like just use all these mats to just make more mats. Like, because I'm gonna just de everything that I just made. So, yeah, that's a lot better. Like pre-even Reaper of Souls expansion coming out, they made it a lot better. So good job Blizzard on that. And loot drops are a lot better. Like a lot of times you'll get something and it'll have the stats that you need. Maybe not the ones you want, like min-maxing. You may not get the exact stats you want, but you'll at least get useful stats. So it's smart loot is what everyone calls it. Smart loot 2.0 loot. It's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, you used to get something and you'd be like, well, this is useless. It may be useful to someone else, but you got to sell it on the auction house, and then go buy the loot that you want on the auction house. And they took out the auction house, so now you can't do that. You can trade things with people that are in your run. Much like World of Warcraft, they kept the same kind of thing where like if it drops and like you and 3 guys are there, you can trade it to the 3 guys that are there. But it's account bound to whoever takes it in the end, and you have only like 20 hours or something, or 2 or 6 hours, I don't know what the time is. One thing I think was like 24 hours to trade it to another person that was in my run, and I was like, yeah, this is a good item, and some things I'm like, no, not so much. You generally get the things that are meant for you in a run, so if like a monk gets it, he's going to get dexterity on a 2-hander instead of strength if like a barbarian or a crusader got it. So if you end up getting like a 2-handed mace or something, even if you give it to someone else, I think even if they identify it, they still end up getting the dexterity or whatever from your class or intelligence, whatever it is. Like, it seems like that's how it is. I'm not completely sure. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I've tried giving things to my like other character and being like, all right, let's identify it on this character, and it still comes up. Still comes up dexterity. Wow. It still comes up, stats that my monk would need when I give it to my barbarian. So that's unfortunate. I thought it would be like whoever identifies it gets it, but I don't know. I don't really know all the details on that. But as much as I can say, if you already own Diablo, it's worth going back and trying. And then if you do enjoy it, you can get Reaper of Souls. It's a bit expensive at $40 for some of us. I got it because of just a new job thing that came up, and pretty much paid for about half of it in one night. So I was like, I'll just get it since I just paid for this by sitting here for like 3 hours. So yeah, so it's a lot better. I think I still have the issue personally that I just don't have enough friends playing it, and I don't have friends that play at the hours that I play. But they've added like a guild social system tab. You can go join a random guild or whatever. I don't know how any of that works. I haven't even bothered because I would rather just play with my friends from League of Legends and World of Warcraft and stuff that I already have. Which I have still quite a few World of Warcraft friends that still pop on. And even if they're not in that, they're in Hearthstone or they're in WoW, I can still talk to them and invite them to come over and play Diablo with me if they have it. I wish I were the thing that said like this is the games they had next to their name. Like they have Diablo, they have Hearthstone, they have installed. Not just that Hearthstone they already have because it's free to play. But it'd be nice if they had like a good system that showed like who has what game. Cause there's some friends I'm like, I didn't know you even had this game, or they didn't realize I had a game that they could play with me. So there's that. League of Legends has been doing rapid fire mode. Rapid fire or something, Earth mode, ultra rapid fire. That they've been doing that this week, which was their April Fool's thing, but like they said, you can play it for a week. So 80% cooldowns and like no mana cost on stuff, and attack speeds increased, double from what you get. So that's amazing. Like that mode was a mode I remember from. It was a like WTF mode in Dota 3, or not Dota 3, Warcraft 3, Dota. So I remember playing it and being like, "This is crazy," because like there was the Odin or whatever character that could do lightning, and you every 40 seconds, he'd just bam lightning bolt, bam lightning bolt. So you'd put it in the WTF mode, and he'd like even less than that. It was ridiculous. It was really short cooldown, like no cooldown. So he'd just be like lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, which same as like Karthus in League of Legends and stuff. So there's characters that are about the same from the original Warcraft that I remember being in League of Legends, and so that's a mode that I'm like, this is really cool. It's not exactly the same as the WTF mode was in Dota, or I heard that they haven't even put it into Dota 2. So I've heard it's different than that a little bit, but it's pretty fun. It's a lot more. I mean, the game is normally fairly fast-paced and hard to learn, but then you add like on top of it, like for really skilled players, like you can be like, here's every 2 seconds of skill that does something. Or there's some characters like Evelynn that are just like, her Q is just instant, and as fast as you can hit it, you spike, 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 spikes. So there's some characters that are just way better in that mode, and it's not balanced, so you have people picking like the most ridiculous characters, and a lot of Nidalee, a lot of Lux, Ezreal, because they are really good poke ranged stuff, and with no cooldowns, it's like bam, 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 they just knock stuff out. So you have a lot of that, and then you have like Hecarim and stuff that has like instant Q with that, and Eve, and so you have like Karthus ult every, I think his is like 30 seconds or something, because it's a pretty long cooldown on its own normally, but I want to say it's about 30 to 40. I haven't played him because he gets banned a lot in my games, or I ban him if I'm the one that gets banned. So sometimes. So there was Sona, because she has just spam all of her abilities, and her ult's pretty short cooldown and stuff in this mode. And they were just like, yeah, we're gonna take her out because it's ridiculous. Everyone bans her every game, and when she doesn't, she just dominates. So it's cool that they're still kind of playing around with like, let's have fun with this game, not just like serious and esports, and just I don't, like the community is still so rude and stuff. They're like, let's add another mode that'll just be funsies, and there's a lot less people go in there to complain about like, you're so bad, blah blah blah. It's because it's a quicker game, it's a fast game, it's a lot like, it's pretty hectic. It's not balanced, so like people don't generally go into the different game modes like ARAM and stuff and just complain. That's why I like playing ARAM so much in League, is people aren't in there complaining about like, oh, you don't know how to play, uninstall, you're the worst, you didn't farm enough, you got beat in your lane. It's because it's team fights mid. It's not as big a deal. So that's why I like those kind of modes, and different kind of things for that kind of game, because that game has serious issues with the community just hating each other and just being completely rude. So it's nice to see something in there that's a little bit less stress, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit better, and it's pretty fun. I mean, just going in on someone like Ziggs, you're just like, I can put ability down every half second almost, so I can just throw this, throw this, throw this, throw these down, like as fast as you can click and hit your buttons, you can put stuff down. So that's pretty fun. Like, I like it. I'll probably end up going and playing some of that after I'm done recording here. So I do kind of hate that it's only like said that they're gonna have it for a week, and I don't know when they'll bring it back. Like, you never know when like Riot will bring something back. I mean, they took a little while to get an ARAM like official mode, and they've had some other of the modes like All for One or One for All, whatever it was, whichever mode that was, where it's like everyone can be Teemo and everyone can be Lee Sin, and those were fun modes, but like they only did it for a short time. They did recently do the queue for what you want thingy, whatever that's called, I mean, it's much like WoW. Like you're like, I want to be the DPS, I want to be the mid lane, I want to be, So they recently did that for like a 2-day test, and now I think it's live. I don't know. It's out. You can like choose it as a mode. The queue times for it are like 10 minutes compared to like the 30 seconds for a normal game or ARAM game where you're just like, I want to play, bam. So if you want to be picky and be like, I want to play mid Teemo, I had to wait about 10 minutes, and I got in a game. In the first game, the person was just like, nope, don't like this. And I was like, what? And then someone dodged, and I was like, okay, back in the queue, waiting 5 more minutes. So, I don't know. I mean, that's what happens in those kind of games. People don't like, even though they kind of propose like you'll see what the other people are before you become a team. I don't know. I didn't understand like the first game I did of that. I don't understand how it chooses the other team, and like how, like if they're deciding like when it puts you against the other team, because like you can kind of be like, nope, we don't want this guy, or yeah, we'll all stick around, and then it's like, bam, you're going against this team. There's no like, this person didn't connect. It's not like, I don't know, it's weird, it's different. So I don't know, need to play that a couple more times to see kind of how it works, but it's alright. I like it because I got to play what I wanted to play, and I do good with that role, so there's no complaining. There's no initial gripe on like, you picked a bad champion, or you suck at this, or it's like, I didn't want to play this role. I wanted to play mid. I didn't want to play support. I didn't want to be jungle. I definitely didn't want to be jungle. So it's nice to have a mode where you can be like, I'm going to play mid, bam, and it finds you some team where it puts you mid, and then they're like, yes, no, if they agree or disagree. So that's been alright. And then rapid fire, much ultra rapid fire, because it's fun. It's really fun when you have like 3 or 4 people, a couple randoms even, because like, you know what you're doing. You go like, get on one of the OP champions like Eve, and you go like 25-4, and you're like, yeah, I feel so good. I had a team that was like a pre-made team last night, and like they had like Maokai and something that was like a pretty strong champion, and went and they were doing stuff, and then I was up like kind of alone doing my own thing, and I was 25-5 I think at the end of that game, and they're like, yeah, you guys are a stupid pre-made team. I was like, hey, wait, I'm solo queue here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not with them. I am totally alone. I have the most score right now. Like, eat it. I'm the best. So, it's like you can't just blame everything on their team and you're not. It doesn't work that way, buddy. Because I was the solo guy and I did the best. So that's been fun. There's a lot more games that I've been trying to want to play. Titanfall for one. Like, I got Titanfall and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this, and then Diablo has been taking up a lot of time, and then Rapid Fire is only for a week, so I'm like, I gotta play that now. I'm like, Titanfall, sorry, you're on the back burner, because there's nothing innovative in your game. There's nothing exciting and ridiculous awesome that I can't have later. Like, other than maybe the people I play against will be better because they've played a couple more hours than me. I'm not worried about that in an FPS game. I'm pretty good at FPS. I've played since GoldenEye to Halo, Halo 2, Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike Source, Call of Duties. I mean, Black Ops 2, I had a lot of videos that were showing off some of my skills, so I'm not too worried about going in, unless I'm trying to mess around and like unlock stuff like in Call of Duty, which Titanfall does have kind of that feeling like, you want the better sniper rifle, you gotta play until you're level 49. And then good luck, you can have it for a little bit, and then you prestige. I don't know how the prestige thing works. Maybe it doesn't do a full wipe like Call of Duty, but I didn't make it that far in that game. I did not make it that far in Titanfall before I was like, I gotta play Diablo because Reaper of Souls is coming out. So for Diablo, they were doing 50% increase on XP gains, so I was like, I'm gonna level some characters, and then they made it to 100% for like the last couple days before the expansion. I was like, I definitely gotta level some characters, and so I leveled 3.5 characters pretty much on that, and I was like, it's pretty fun. you know, and then I got to see how the loot and stuff was working differently, and I was like, oh, it's a lot better. I like it. So they did a good job. I approve. Aside from that, there's I don't know. There's a lot of other games that I would like to play more of. I haven't got to play Minecraft or anything in a while, and I know I made one video and was like, do people want to see this? And a couple people did say, yeah. Some of my friends were like, you should do some Minecraft stuff. It's pretty fun. You know, it's nice to see how you think and imagine and see things that you want to make things, you know, the way that you do. So I was like, all right, well, I mean, you guys are like the closer friends that say something, so thanks. At least you reply to my videos. So thanks to them. I also did just recently my 100th video was my last Turtle Talk, which about a month ago now, but that was my 100th video, and so I talked a lot about music and stuff in that, and I did not monetize it because I had some music on in the background and stuff, so that's kind of free video to the internet, I guess. I don't know if it's got any copyright claim stuff against it yet. I haven't checked on it in a couple days, but didn't seem to at the time. The music was pretty low in the background. I don't even know if you can hear it through most of the video on YouTube. When I watched it, I couldn't barely hear it. So probably mistakes in editing there. I should have done the music in a different way or a different program to get it in the video, but I did it the way I did just because I was listening to music and, you know, talking about it. So if you guys can check that video out, maybe I'll have the little box thing somewhere in the dark zone, in this dark area of my screen, and that'll be an annotation link probably, so you guys can check that out. This video will be back to regular monetization because no music or audio, and this is just me and my face talking free speech. Bam, yeah, America. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great week and you guys are having a good time. I'm trying to do some stuff so I can make a little bit of money so I can afford new equipment, new microphone, new, like an actual like Snow Yeti microphone or something instead of this headset, and then maybe a new webcam that'll be better quality and stuff. So it might be a little bit before I actually get the money from this, but when I do, that's where the stuff's gonna go. Money's gonna go probably, most likely, if I can. So unless something else comes up, try to make the quality a little bit better for this. It's a hobby, but you know, maybe someday you guys will like it enough that I'll get some fame out of it. I don't know, get some e-fame, get some e-monies, YouTube monies. Thanks Google. I'm gonna not bash Google in the thing for all the weird changes they made to YouTube, but you know, it's fun. It's fun to make videos and talk to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys are having a good week. If you guys have any comments about anime or video games that you've been playing, I've been playing, and you want to talk about that on my YouTube channel, or you can talk to me on facebook.com/turtlenumber13 or twitter.com/ or at turtlenumber13 on Twitter. That. So name's been down at the bottom of the screen the whole time, so you can see how to spell it. No caps on the, you know, websites, but you get it. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great week.